At the celebration party after the high school graduation exams, Ilani, a scholarship student from a rural background who had transferred to our class, lost a game and had to kiss someone, like in Truth or Dare. Among the single male students, she chose Liam, my childhood sweetheart's boyfriend. Liam didn't refuse her. Because of this, I broke up with Liam. Liam felt humiliated in public and unhappy, so he kissed Ilani's lips right in front of me. Even to teach me a lesson, the very next day he took Ilani on the graduation trip I had planned for months, which was supposed to be for Liam and me. Liam was convinced that I loved him desperately and couldn't live without him, and that I would definitely come crawling back to him for reconciliation. It wasn't until half a month later, when he hadn't received any message from me trying to win him back, that he panicked. On the day the high school graduation exam scores were released, he proactively sent me a message, "Isabella, don't forget we applied to the same university." When I received Liam's message, my Robert and Sarah and I were on our way to his house to return the token of affection. And, of course, there was no way I would be applying to the same school as Liam. I was half an hour late to the party that night after the high school graduation exams because I was getting my hair done. As I reached the door of the private room, I heard deafening cheers from inside. Kiss. Kiss. Curious, I grasped the doorknob, pushed the door open, and when I saw the scene inside, I was struck as if by lightning. Standing in the center of the private room were my boyfriend Liam and the transferred scholarship student Ilani. Ilani gazed at Liam with eyes full of affection, her voice shy. "Liam, thank you for stepping forward to help me. I've never kissed anyone before, please bear with me later." Liam looked at Ilani with a smile, showing no sign of refusal or hesitation. I watched the scene in disbelief, and just as Ilani tiptoed, preparing to kiss Liam's lips, I sharply called out, "What are you doing?" Hearing my voice, someone finally looked over. "Isabella is here." Hearing my name, Liam also turned to look. His gaze met mine as I stood at the door. He walked towards me as if nothing had happened, reaching for my hand. "Isabella, you're here." I slapped his hand away, my voice still trembling with anger. "Liam, what were you and Ilani just about to do?" Liam said nothing, but Ilani jumped in. "Isabella, I'm so sorry. I lost a game and had to kiss someone, and since no one else would help me, I just asked Liam. We were just playing a game, please don't take it to heart." Liam immediately chimed in, "It was just a game. I only see Ilani as a sister. Isabella, you don't need to worry." I looked coldly at Liam, asking him slowly, word by word, "Liam, you have a girlfriend. Kissing another woman in public, don't you think that's going too far?" Liam's face showed some embarrassment. The surrounding classmates, seeing this, tried to mediate. "Let's just drop it then," sobbing, "Isabella, it's all my fault. Don't make it hard for Liam, okay? I'll drink 12 glasses of alcohol, and I'm allergic to alcohol. If I die from drinking, it's my bad luck." As she spoke, she tearfully grabbed a glass from the dining table to pour a drink. Liam immediately stopped her. "Isabella, you're going too far. Ilani can't drink, so I had to help her." Liam frowned, his tone carrying a hint of reproach. "Oh, you're such a hero? There are so many guys in this private room without girlfriends, why didn't she ask anyone else and specifically pick you? And if she knew she couldn't drink, why play the game?" Ilani's crying grew louder, as if I were assaulting her. "I knew you looked down on me. I'm from a rural background, not like you, a rich girl, but you don't need to insult me like this, do you? What have I done wrong?" Beautifully, Liam's face darkened, and he intensified his tone towards me. "Isabella, what do you want?" Liam actually didn't feel at fault at all. Instead, he continued to defend Ilani. My heart turned cold, and I cut him off. "If she lost a game and had to sleep with you, would you help her with that too?" I had never said such unpleasant words before, so Liam's expression instantly changed when he heard them. Ilani was already crying uncontrollably. "Isabella, even though I'm poor and have no money, I still have my pride. Today, even if I drink myself to death, I will never ask anyone for help." As spoke, she grabbed a bottle of alcohol, about to pour it into her mouth. Liam immediately stopped Ilani and shouted my full name. "Isabella, I'm saying this now. I absolutely must help Ilani with this. Seeing us causing a scene, smooth things over and drop it." Watching defy me for Ilani, the sobbing Ilani gave me a triumphant smile. I trembled with anger, not wanting to say another word. "Liam, if you help her today, we're breaking up." "Then break up," Liam said, then cupped Ilani's head and actively kissed her. The room fell silent. Everyone was stunned by Liam's actions. I watched the scene without blinking. Liam and Ilani's kiss wasn't brief, it was prolonged and lingering. The room was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. No one spoke, their gazes shifting back and forth between Liam and Ilani, who were kissing, and me, standing at the door. I don't know what Liam and Ilani were feeling at that moment. All I knew was that I felt like a clown, an utterly mortified clown. Not wanting to be seen as a laughingstock, I turned and walked out of the private room. After leaving the private room, tears streamed down my face. After more than 10 years of being childhood sweethearts with Liam, we had argued and fought, but never once had I felt such sorrow, disappointment, and pain. Walking alone on the street, my heart ached profoundly. My eyes were swollen like peaches from crying continuously. I don't know how far I walked, only that my carefully applied makeup was smeared and looked terrible. I sat on a bench by the road, picking up my phone to call my Robert and Sarah. A message came in on my phone. I opened it to find a short video. Liam was leaning casually on the private room's couch, with Ilani sitting close beside him. A classmate asked him worriedly, "Liam, are you sure you're not going to talk to Isabella?" Isabella was really angry just now. She even talked about breaking up. No. Liam's face held an indifferent expression. Isabella and I have known each other for so many years. I saved her life. She loves me deeply. I know she'd never really break up with me. She's just trying to get my attention. But what you did just now was a bit much. A bit much what? It was just a game, wasn't it? Isabella is too narrow-minded. How dare she threaten me with breaking up? Does she really think I'm scared of her? Believe me, if I ignore her for a few days, she'll come crawling back to me in no time. Even if she doesn't, all I have to do is send him a message to give him an out, and everything will be fine. So, Liam really thought of me that way. Because he saved me, I was forever tied to him. Because I loved him, I had to tolerate him having no boundaries in his behavior with other women. My heart ached deeply, but I knew with absolute clarity that my relationship with Liam was over. My and Sarah and Liam's uncle and aunt were both business people. Our families coincidentally bought houses in the same area and became neighbors, which is how Liam and I became childhood sweethearts. Liam saved my life. When I was 5 years old, the housekeeper had to leave for an errand, and I fell into the swimming pool, submerged by water. It was Liam who found me, put a life buoy around me, and pulled me out. Because of this life-saving kindness, our two families' relationship grew even stronger than before. Our families had parties every few days, exchanged gifts, and went on trips and vacations together. Liam and I were inseparable, from kindergarten all the way through high school, always at the same school. When we were little, we would sleep in the same bed under the housekeeper's care. As we grew older, awkwardness, Liam and I never needed to knock before entering each other's rooms. Liam remembered all my preferences. He would peel shrimp for me at meals and put fish with the bones already removed into my bowl, picking out fish bones for me at meals, a gesture of deep care. The family always had my favorite fruits and snacks ready, and even the decor in Liam's room was arranged according to my preferred style. Everyone who knew us said that Liam and I were a match made in heaven. Both sets of parents tacitly approved of this, so Aunt gave me the Hayes family's heirloom emerald pendant as a birthday gift on my 16th birthday. This was an unspoken understanding, clear to both sets of adults. Liam and I also knew, and we promised to study hard together to get into the best high school, then go to university together. We successfully got into the best high school and were again assigned to the same class, sitting together. During our first year of high school, Liam's family had an accident. Uncle's mismanagement. I didn't understand business matters, but I overheard my Robert and Sarah talking privately about how the Hayes family's company was short on funds and on the verge of bankruptcy. During that time, I saw Uncle and Aunt looking much more haggard. Because I felt bad for Liam, I proactively suggested to Robert that we inject capital into the Hayes family's company. Robert and Sarah agreed, and eventually, the Hayes family's company was brought back from the brink of collapse thanks to my family's timely assistance. After going through that hardship, Liam was even better to me. He always said I was the person he loved most in the world. He lived only for me. I also firmly believed our relationship was as strong as gold, and we would never be apart. Unfortunately, nothing in this world is absolute. In our senior year, Ilani, a scholarship student from a rural background, transferred to our class. Ilani's grades were excellent in her village, and as a scholarship student from a rural background, she was specifically recruited by the school. When she arrived, she was wearing faded clothes and pants. Her hair was dry and yellow, clearly indicating long-term malnutrition. Ilani's living habits were completely different from the other classmates, leading to many embarrassing situations. Initially, Ilani had no interaction with us until something happened at home, Her father broke his leg on a construction site and needed a large sum for treatment. The class then collectively raised money. I remember very clearly that Liam was the biggest donor in the class, giving 100,000. 100,000 was not a big deal for Liam, and I didn't think much of it, simply assuming he had an overflowing sense of compassion. The day after the donation, Ilani came to class to express her thanks. She brought small gifts for every classmate. Everyone received identical scarves, but Liam's was unique. Liam's gift was an embroidered hat. Liam even took out the embroidered hat Ilani gave him to show me at the time. I found the embroidered hat Ilani gave Liam a bit strange, so I looked it up online. I didn't know until I looked, and once I did, I was shocked. It turned out that the embroidered hat had special significance in Ilani's scholarship student from a rural background culture. It was a token of affection given by a woman to a man. So did Ilani like Liam? I told Liam what I had found out, but he just thought it was ridiculous. He said Ilani didn't mean it that way, and that he only had me in his heart and could never develop feelings for Ilani. I had my own confidence. I was beautiful, good at studying, had a good temper, and came from a good family. I didn't think Ilani posed any threat to me. Until later, Ilani kept finding excuses to get close to Liam. I thought Liam would refuse, but to my surprise, no matter what she asked him to help with, he would agree. I was quite unhappy about it and spoke directly to Liam. He said Ilani was diligent in her studies but struggled with English, and since he was good at English, helping a classmate was perfectly normal and I shouldn't overthink it. He also said that his family's near bankruptcy had deeply affected him, and because he had been drenched in the rain, he wanted to hold up an umbrella for someone else. He wanted to help others just as my family had helped his family. But now, after personally seeing Liam and Ilani another woman in public, and then hearing Marcus dismiss me as a simp, I finally made up my mind completely. A man who cheated should be discarded, and I was absolutely certain I didn't want a tainted Liam. Having made up my mind, I took a taxi home. Seeing me return so early, asked with concern what had happened. I told Sarah that Liam and I had broken up. I was utterly disgusted, but still couldn't quite believe I would really give up Liam. Are you sure you're not just having a temper tantrum? No, Mom, Liam kissed someone else in public. Why would I want a man like that? I was very angry. That's outrageous. I always thought he was someone you could entrust your life to, but I didn't expect him to show his true colors so quickly. Imagine how much you'd suffer if you married him. It's good that you broke up. Since you've decided to break up, then return the heirloom pendant Aunt gave you earlier. Oh, and didn't you already book plane tickets and a hotel to travel with Liam? You won't need them now, will you? At Sarah's reminder, I also remembered this. The next second, a message came in on my phone. Recording from Lily. Liam, are you going on a graduation trip with Isabella tomorrow? Yes. Can you take me with you? My family is poor, and I've never traveled since I was little. IW. And to see the outside world, but I'm afraid to go alone. Liam's smiling voice came through. Got it, it's a small matter. Just come with us tomorrow. I calmly canceled my flight and hotel bookings. Then I started organizing all the gifts Liam had given me over the years. Since I decided to break up, I would do it completely. Liam and I had exchanged many valuable gifts over the years. I planned to sort out Liam's gifts and return them to him, and also have him return mine. It took me several hours to sort the gifts, finishing only in the early hours of the morning. There were 4 or 5 large boxes full. Just as I was about to rest, Liam sent a message. Isabella, Ilani also wants to come on the graduation trip tomorrow. Her family is having difficulties, and she's never traveled before. So I thought we could take her, and I agreed. You'll agree too, right? I ignored him, turned off my phone, and went to sleep. The next morning, I was woken by the doorbell. Immediately after, I heard Liam's voice. Isabella. Isabella. Come out quickly. If you don't come out, we'll miss our flight. I ignored him. I heard the housekeeper from my house stop Liam, who was about to barge in. Miss has decided not to go. Young Hayes, please go by yourself. How is that possible? We planned this a long time ago. Planned the trip. She can't possibly not go. After spoke, I heard Ilani's whining. It must be because of me that Isabella is angry and not going. If that's the case, then I won't go either. A poor person like me shouldn't even dream of seeing the world. Liam comforted Ilani and raised his voice to call me. When I didn't respond, he also became angry. Isabella, is there a limit to your temper tantrums? Do you really think I don't have a temper? He even threatened me. I'm telling you, I'm only giving you 5 minutes. If you don't come out, I'm leaving. The offer expires. 5 minutes quickly passed. After angrily said a few harsh words outside, accompanied by Aylin. I sobbing, the sound of the car gradually faded away. I went back to sleep and woke up at noon. The housekeeper prepared a delicious lunch for me. I sat at the dining table, eating lunch. I scrolled through messages in the group chat. Wow. Flying class. I've never flown first class in my life. So jealous. Jealous +1. Ailani has fulfilled her travel dream now. I heard they're going for about half a month. Someone tagged me, Isabella, remember to take lots of photos with Liam for us to see. I replied, Liam and I have broken up. Please don't associate us together again in the future, it's inappropriate. The chat suddenly went silent. I didn't go, but Ailani was already sitting in first class. Needless to say, everyone knew she was with Liam. Everyone had thought my saying breakup last night was just a temper tantrum. Now, with Liam and Ailani their trip, and me not going, it was clearly a real breakup. The chat fell silent for a long time. At 6 p.m., there was suddenly a message in the group chat. Ailani posted a video, finally got to see the legendary presidential suite. While the group chat was filled with exclamations about the presidential suite's luxury, Ailani me a private message. She wore a sheer, almost transparent nightgown and struck a seductive pose. Isabella, if you don't come, Liam and I, a man and a woman alone in a room, will be sharing a room tonight, will we? Thank you for giving us this opportunity. I'll do my best to win Liam over tonight. As boarded the plane tickets with Ailani, he was already feeling some regret. Isabella's anger this time was completely different from before. Previously, she had never talked about breaking up, nor had she ever ignored him. Whenever he and Isabella argued or had a disagreement, as long as he sent a message, Isabella would reply with at least a symbol, no matter how angry she was. But from last night until now, Isabella had ignored his messages. In fact, he had considered last night that if Isabella had refused his taking Ailani on the trip, he would have considered Isabella's opinion, but didn't reply to him. When he went to Isabella's place with Ailani that morning, he thought that as long as Isabella came out and threw a tantrum, he would give up taking Ailani with them. However, Isabella didn't show her face at all. She him waiting at the door for half an hour, wouldn't let him in, only letting the housekeeper attend to him. Liam had never been so humiliated. Ailani had been telling him that Isabella was like a queen, and he was just her knight. Ailani said she felt he was somewhat humble and submissive in front of Isabella, and that Isabella didn't seem to love him. These words, of course, weren't said in a day, but accumulated over time. For some reason, Liam listened. Isabella's family was much better off than his own. Isabella had been pampered like a princess since childhood. He, too, was once a prince, but after the near-bankruptcy experience, Liam had tasted what it was like to fall from a high pedestal into hell. If Robert and Sarah hadn't offered help, he knew his family would have gone bankrupt, and all their assets would have been seized by the court. They would have been homeless, as pathetic as Ailani's family. He admitted that he helped Ailani because he saw his former self in her. Isabella had helped him, and he wanted to help Ailani just as Isabella had helped him. Ailani was very delicate and very humble and submissive. She was constantly humble and flattering to him, and that humble flattery deeply touched him. So, he felt that just as Isabella had pulled him out of the mud, he could also help Ailani. He truly had no romantic feelings for Ailani, he only saw her as a sister. Ailani also swore she only saw him as an older brother. Since they regarded each other as siblings, what reason did Isabella have to be angry? Isabella had argued and bickered with him multiple times over Ailani, and he felt Isabella was becoming increasingly unreasonable. She wasn't delicate at all, she was indeed very assertive. He didn't like Isabella's assertiveness. He wished Isabella were gentle, understanding, and humble and submissive in front of him, like Ailani. He loved Isabella, but he didn't like Isabella's assertiveness. Mental issues because of his family's misfortune. He wanted someone who needed his help, he needed a delicate, helpless Isabella. He admitted he was wrong about the kissing incident. Fragile-looking and tearful like Ailani at that moment, he would have softened immediately. But she was so assertive, so aggressive, and even used breaking up to publicly threaten him and embarrass him and Ailani. He steeled his heart and kissed Ailani. He had expected Isabella to cry and hit him, separating him and Ailani. He never imagined Isabella would just leave. He was also someone who cared about saving face. Although the classmates in the private room all told him to go after Isabella, he wanted to go after her too. But he also felt it would be embarrassing to chase after her, so he decided to give Isabella the cold shoulder. Even on the way to the airport, Liam believed Isabella would secretly follow them. She loved him so much, she would never allow him and Ailani to be alone. He was prepared for Isabella to appear at the entrance of their booked hotel, giving him a big surprise. However, after getting off the plane tickets, he didn't see Isabella. Instead, he saw Isabella's reply in the group chat. They had already broken up. Seeing the breakup message in the group chat, Liam was utterly enraged. He was so angry he immediately wanted to call Isabella and demand to know what she meant. Ilani stopped him. Liam, I think Isabella is just too invested in you and is having a temper tantrum. I think your relationship with Isabella has always been a bit unequal. You're too humble and submissive. If you give in, she'll have you wrapped around her finger forever. You don't want your life with her to always be in an unequal state, do you? Liam thought Ilani made a lot of sense. What do you suggest we do? Ilani offered advice. Okay, let's provoke her a bit. Later, I'll send her a video of us in the same room. If she truly loves you, she'll definitely be jealous and rush over regardless of anything. Then you can prepare blue roses, admit your mistake, apologize, and you'll be back to how you were. Liam thought Ilani's idea was good. After so many years of relationship with Isabella, he didn't believe Isabella would be willing to give up. So he tacitly allowed Ilani to send such a provocative video and message. Now, he was just waiting for Isabella to rush over anxiously. Liam bought 999 blue roses and placed them in the room, waiting for Isabella's arrival. By his calculations, Isabella would arrive around 11 p.m. Then he would surprise her, apologize, and they would be back to normal. Liam thought this, waiting confidently. He waited until midnight, but Isabella never appeared. He growled at Ilani, "Look at your terrible idea. Tell me why she didn't come?" "Why?" Ilani's face was full of grievance. "I don't know why she didn't come either. Normally, most girls wouldn't fail to come. There's only one reason she wouldn't. She doesn't love you enough. She doesn't care about you. You're talking nonsense. How could Isabella not love me? We've been together for so many years. We were going to apply to the same university. We were going to get engaged and married after graduation." Looking at Liam's dejected expression, Ilani added, "How about we try another way to provoke her?" The next morning, I woke up and saw Ilani Instagram post, 999 roses. Everlasting love. Thank you for your love. For the next few days, Instagram post. She and Liam followed the travel itinerary I had specifically planned and customized. They climbed snow-capped mountains together, explored ancient towns, and drank coffee at couples' coffee shops. They saw waterfalls, flew over canyons, and got good luck charms. Their affection was enviable and widely known. I calmly scrolled through Ilani Instagram post, my heart as still as water. Occasionally, Ilani would also send me a few private short videos of her and Liam being intimate. She and Liam were arm in arm, they exchanged close-up affectionate gestures, and Liam even held Ilani in various intimate poses. I didn't know what Ilani meant by this. I had already broken up with Liam and stepped aside for them. Was she still declaring war on me? Was it really necessary? Time flew by quickly, and soon it was the day the scores were released. Maya and Sarah and I gathered in front of the computer, watching me enter my exam ID. The screen didn't immediately show the scores. Maya and Sarah first paused, then hugged each other and cheered. I had a student with top scores. Thinking about it, I should thank Liam. He was busy tutoring Ilani in English, so I didn't have time to tutor him in math. I had enough time to study on my own, not wanting to fall into a vicious cycle. While Liam was tirelessly helping Ilani, I had been diligently solving problems, over and over again. So, student with top scores. Calls from Ivy schools to back. Maya and Robert were discussing whether to go to Tsinghua or Peking University when Liam's phone call came in. I didn't answer. After ignoring 10 or so consecutive calls, Liam sent a message. "Are the scores out? What did you get?" Without waiting for my reply, he continued to talk to himself. "My score passed for the university we planned to apply to. Isabella, we said we'd study together, wait for me to come back." I ignored Liam. Meanwhile, my Robert and Sarah had already settled on me attending Peking University. I felt the same way, so after our family decided, we chose to go out and celebrate. Maya and Sarah booked the best hotel room. As we enjoyed the delicious food, Liam sent another message. "Liam will always love Isabella." A cold smile appeared on my lip. I looked up at my Robert and Sarah. "Robert and Sarah, uncle and aunt are back from abroad, right?" I plan to return the heirloom pendant to them. Maya and Sarah nodded. "We'll go to the Hayes family's house after dinner." It was already 10 p.m. when we got home after dinner. I took out the heirloom pendant Aunt had given me and had the housekeeper at home use a cart to take all the things Liam had given me to the Hayes family's house. Uncle and aunt had only been back from abroad for a few hours and were surprised to see our family. They warmly welcomed us into the house, but their faces both changed color when they saw me take out the heirloom pendant. Isabella, what does this mean? Has bullied you? I calmly told them, Liam and I broke up half a month ago. I wanted to return the heirloom pendant long ago, but you weren't home, so I had to wait until now. Hearing me say this, Ilani's mother, who was working as a housekeeper at the Hayes family's house, couldn't help but show a flicker of joy on her face. She hurriedly brought in tea and then quickly left. I glanced over and saw her hurrying out, already making a phone call. There was no need to analyze who she was calling. Aunt on the other side became utterly disgusted. Why? Why did you break up? What's the reason? I still answered coldly, because has someone he likes. How is that possible? Uncle and aunt both didn't believe it. Isabella, is there some misunderstanding? Liam loves you so much, he couldn't possibly like someone else, absolutely not. And, there's no such thing as an absolute in this world. Liam really does have someone he likes, and you know the person, she lives in your house. Aunt's face changed dramatically. Are you talking about Ilani? That's impossible, she's not even fit to carry your shoes. Isabella, I can assure you Liam has no feelings for that Ilani. He just pities her family, that's all. If you're unhappy with Liam's actions, we can make them leave, right now. Seeing William and Aunt's anxious expressions, I shook my head. Uncle and Aunt, my breakup with Liam is a deeply considered decision and will not change. Whether you are satisfied with his current girlfriend has nothing to do with me. I simply want to break up with him, that's all. It must be a mistake. I'll call Liam right now. Let him explain it to you, Aunt said, dialing Liam's phone. The call connected quickly, and Aunt said through gritted teeth, Liam, Isabella has come to break off the engagement. How is that possible? Liam's voice was full of disbelief. She's at our house right now. Isabella returned the engagement heirloom pendant and said you've fallen for someone else. You better explain what's going on. No, I haven't fallen for someone else. The person I love has always been Isabella. Isabella is just having a temper tantrum. Mom, let Isabella talk on the phone. I had no intention of arguing with Liam, so I said directly, Aunt, there's nothing more to say. Liam and I have nothing to discuss. We broke up half a month ago when he kissed Ilani in public in the private room. Liam on the other end of the phone heard clearly, and he panicked. That's not it. Isabella, that was just a game. But I warned you, if you kissed Ilani, we'd break up. You don't need me to remind you what your answer was then, do you? I didn't mean it that way. The only person I like is you, Isabella. Believe me. Listening to Liam's desperate voice, I felt nothing. Maya and Sarah were also impatient. Let's just leave it at that. Besides, Liam is still traveling with another woman right now. We are also parents. If our Isabella went traveling with another man for half a month, eating and staying together, could you tolerate it? No, right? If that's the case, then separate gracefully. After my Robert and Sarah finished speaking, they took me and left immediately. Liam's uncle and aunt were on the phone, hysterically scolding. I also heard Aunt angrily scolding, tell that shameless ingrate's family to get out immediately. Get out now. Uncle and aunt were going to kick Ilani and her mother out, but whatever they did now had nothing to do with me. Liam had not expected things to turn out this way. He had followed Ilani's advice and provoked Isabella for half a month, but Isabella hadn't called him once or sent a single message to try and win him back. The more time passed, the more anxious Liam became, distraught. He regretted believing Ilani and provoking Isabella. At this point, Liam finally regained his senses. He thought of a possibility that terrified him greatly. If really broke up with him because of all these so-called intimate gestures with Ilani, what would he do? Liam dared not linger any longer. He immediately called Isabella. Isabella didn't answer his phone. He called more than 10 times, but Isabella ignored every one. He sent messages, and Isabella hadn't blocked him, but she also didn't seem to have any intention of replying. Panic spread through Liam's heart. Something had slipped from his control, and he was very scared. Just as he was in a state of panic, he received a call from Aunt. Aunt told him that Isabella had come to their house to break off the engagement. Liam was utterly disgusted. He almost thought he had misheard. Aunt questioned and yelled on the phone. He was distraught and instinctively tried to explain. But no one in Isabella's family was willing to listen to his explanation. They returned the engagement heirloom pendant and left directly. Aunt was furious. She had loved Isabella since she was a child. Now, with Ilani messing things up like this, she unceremoniously told Ilani's mother to get out. Liam weakly hung up the phone. sobbing behind him. Liam, obsessed. We have no relationship at all. How could she do this to you? She, smack, a sharp sound. Ailani, a heavy slap. Liam glared at her with disgust. Shut up. You shut up. It's all because of you. It's all because F you, you shameless thing, causing trouble in front of me. That's why Isabella and I grew apart. You're the damn culprit. Ailani, who had just taken a heavy slap, cried and knelt down. I was only thinking of you. Liam, I see you like an older brother? I know this is all my fault, don't worry, we'll go back right away to explain things to Isabella. I'll even kneel at her doorstep for 3 days and 3 nights if I have to, just to beg her to reconcile with you. Ailani was kowtowing repeatedly like pounding garlic, sincere and heartfelt. Liam, I'm sure Isabella doesn't really want to break up with you. She just loves you too much and is using this to push you. Don't worry, when we get back, we'll sit down and explain everything clearly, and she'll definitely get back together with you. I swear. Ailani's tearful explanation brought Liam back to his senses a little. He still couldn't believe Isabella would actually break up with him. He thought she was just playing hard to get, waiting for him to go back, apologize, and admit his mistake. This time, he was genuinely scared. He swore that once he got back and Ailani explained everything, he would cut off all ties with her. Liam immediately bought plane tickets for the return trip. He only needed to wait 1 more night. Tomorrow, he would fly back and see Isabella. Then he would explain everything properly to Isabella. He would even kneel and apologize if it meant winning her back. He didn't notice the sinister expression on Ailani's face. If he had known what was to happen, Liam would never have stayed that extra night. Thinking of Isabella, Liam remained distracted, constantly sending Isabella messages and calling her. Isabella didn't answer his phone or reply to any of his messages. Liam felt utterly dejected. They had their farewell dinner at a nearby bar street. Ailani ordered the food, and seeing Liam was in low spirits, she also ordered some alcohol. Ailani said to drown your sorrows in drink, tellingly. And that he was looking gloomy and upset, and a few drinks would stop him from overthinking. Liam was anxious and worried, feeling terrible. He wasn't just concerned, he was scared. What if Isabella didn't come back to him? He was certain he couldn't live without Isabella. Lost in his despair, misery, and hopelessness, he picked up the glass of wine Ailani had poured and drank it. Liam had a good tolerance for alcohol, and he remembered only drinking about 2 glasses. But the alcohol hit hard, and he quickly became dizzy and disoriented. Liam didn't know how he got back to the hotel. He had a dream. He dreamt that Isabella smiled beautifully at him, then leaned in to kiss him, saying she missed him badly. Isabella said they would never be apart again, and no one would ever come between them. He also promised to stay far away from Ailani in the future, telling Isabella that he only pitied Ailani and saw her as a sister. He never felt any romantic affection for her. Isabella smiled and said she forgave him. Then they embraced, passionately kissing, and finally undressed. The sensation was incredibly intoxicating and wonderful, but when Liam opened his eyes, he was stunned. He and Ailani were naked, tangled together. He had slept with Ailani. As stared in disbelief, Ailani also opened her eyes. Whining, Liam, why did you do this to me? Last night you drank too much, and I was just kindly helping you back, but you forced yourself on me. You wouldn't listen to anything I said. She pointed to her torn clothes. My clothes are all ruined by you. No matter how much I refused, you wouldn't listen to me. Boo-hoo. I'm sorry. I never thought this would happen. Liam felt panicked and scared, and also guilty towards Ailani. But what he feared most was the consequence if this incident got out and Isabella found out. Isabella would never forgive him. The urgent priority now was to suppress this matter. It absolutely couldn't get out. He tried to negotiate with Ailani. Ailani. I'm sorry I wronged you. I admit I made a mistake. I'll give you money. Can you please not spread the word about this? Ailani, who had always been obedient to him, nodded and agreed. Okay. Liam, I'll do whatever you say. Liam breathed a sigh of relief. As long as Ailani didn't say anything, he would keep it a secret forever. Liam rushed to the airport with Ailani for their return trip. Meanwhile, after a wonderful night's sleep, I woke up and saw a video I'd received on my phone from Ailani. In the video, Liam and Ailani were naked and in the throes of passion. Although key areas were censored, watching such a video still made me utterly disgusted. Immediately after, a text message from Ailani came in. We're together now. I've completely devoted myself to Liam. If you had any shame, stop bothering us and ruining what we have. I narrowed my eyes at Ailani's warning message, unable to stop myself from laughing out loud. Ailani probably thought that by sleeping with Liam, she could marry him. Well, let's wait and see. At 3 in the afternoon, the doorbell rang. The housekeeper opened the door, and Liam and his family of 3 arrived with Ilani to apologize. Liam looked very unwell, with dark circles under his eyes. Aunt came in and said to me, "Isabella, Liam told me everything. He and Ilani have nothing going on. This incident happened because he had no boundaries. He knows he was wrong, so won't you please forgive him this once?" Liam said in a hoarse voice, "Isabella, I just wanted to make you jealous and angry, which is why I let Ilani post that social media post to provoke you. I've been thinking of you constantly these past few days, and I've realized my mistake. I'll never play such childish games again. Please, can you forgive me?" I raised an eyebrow at Liam. "Are you and Ilani really just like siblings?" "Yes. I have not an ounce of romantic affection for her. And you, Ilani? Do you also have no feelings for Liam?" Ilani took a step forward, tears welling up before she could speak, as effortlessly as if she'd performed it countless times before. Her voice was broken and stuttering from sobbing. "Isabella, I didn't know it would cause you and Liam, cause you, such a big problem. I know I was wrong. Please, can you forgive Liam?" As spoke, she resorted to her old trick and knelt down. I watched her coldly as she kowtowed several times on the floor, making no move to stop her. However, Aunt's heart softened, and she couldn't bear to watch, reaching out to help Ilani up. "Isabella, Ilani and Liam are innocent. There's absolutely nothing between them. Can you swear to that?" I looked at Ilani, enunciating each word. "Swear by your God that you have no ulterior motives for Liam." Ilani fell silent. She probably thought I was a pushover. After all, she had sent me so many intimate videos of her and Liam. I had never responded, and she knew my pride wouldn't allow me to. She was betting I wouldn't take back a damaged goods man she had already used. Ilani was right. I certainly wouldn't take back a damaged goods man. But why should I silently facilitate her? Ilani refused to swear, and continued to cry and try to kneel. Tired of her performance, I pulled out my phone and opened it. Soon, the video Ilani had sent me last night was displayed for everyone to see. Liam's face instantly turned pale. "It's not like that. I was drunk." I thought she was. Aunt and Uncle's faces turned ashen, especially Uncle, who slapped Liam's face. "You disgrace. How dare you do such a thing?" The family didn't say another word after I showed the video. Uncle and Aunt turned and left. Liam tried to explain, but Uncle and Aunt dragged him away. Ilani, however, forgot her feigned tears and stared at me in disbelief. She probably thought I would never reveal that video. What happened next had nothing to do with me. Robert and Sarah booked plane tickets, and we flew to Maui for my belated graduation trip. Liam, distraught, was dragged home by his parents, with Ilani still trailing behind them. Now that the truth was out, Ilani felt scared and worried. But this was also good. Her being with Liam was a fact, and now that it was exposed, it was up to the Hayes family how they would react. If parents agreed to them being together, she wouldn't have to expend much effort. If they refused, she had a backup plan. Ilani made up her mind to follow them to the Hayes home. As the door closed, Liam lunged at her like a madman. "You bitch. You damn well set me up." Ilani didn't know how many slaps and blows she took. She cried and begged for mercy, pleading with Liam to let her go. Uncle and Aunt didn't intervene, both acting as if it were none of their business, heading straight upstairs. Liam, tired of punching and kicking Ilani, finally stopped. "Get out. From now on, you damn well get out of my house." Ilani looked at the fierce and menacing Liam, wiped the blood from her face, and loudly and clearly rejected his demand. "I won't leave." "What? What did you say?" Liam stared at Ilani in shock. "Say that again, you damn well." Ilani looked Liam directly in the eyes. "You ruined my innocence. You must take responsibility for me. I'm not leaving. I'm going to marry you. Are you dreaming? Why the hell should I take responsibility for you? Look in a mirror. What the hell do you have that makes you worth me taking responsibility for?" Ilani was unusually calm. "Wake up. Isabella broke off your engagement. She doesn't want you anymore. Since she doesn't want you, and I've been tainted by you, why don't we just be together? You're dreaming. What makes you think you can be with me?" Liam was utterly furious. "Look in a mirror and see yourself. You're not even fit to carry Isabella's shoes." Hearing insults, Ilani's face turned cold. "Liam, are you sure you want to talk to me like that? Let me tell you, this is rape. If I report you, you're finished." "What? You're saying I raped you? Why the hell would I need to rape someone like you? I have a video here. Last night, you tore my clothes and forced me against my will. It's all recorded. If you don't want to go to jail, you'd better listen to me." Ilani showed her true colors. She had been prepared all along. Especially after learning her mother had been thrown out, she knew it was impossible to marry Liam. So, she had to take a desperate gamble. Last night, she had drugged Liam, and he had lost control and forced himself on her. She had planned up to this point and would not allow failure. Whether wanted to or not, he could only be with her, or she would accuse him of rape. She didn't believe Liam would dare to challenge her. Ilani pulled out the complete video and played it. In the video, Liam was frantically tearing Ilani's clothes, and she was resisting and pleading, but ultimately she succumbed helplessly. "You secretly recorded me. You set me up? How can you call it a setup? This is what really happened that night. It's a true depiction. I just happened to turn on my phone's camera. You bitch." The innocent girl he'd always thought she was had bared her fangs, making Liam's teeth clench in fury. He slapped Ilani's face hard. "You shameless bitch. You actually manipulated me? I manipulated you? Wasn't it you who couldn't control your lust?" With her true colors revealed, Ilani was no longer afraid. "You want to have your cake and eat it too. Who are you trying to fool? You claim to love Isabella, yet you gave me opportunities to be ambiguous with me. You're a piece of trash, enjoying my gentle admiration while still clinging to your beloved. If only you had been firm with me from the start and refused to let me get close, would we have reached this point?" Liam's face turned crimson from her scolding. Yes, it was true. He had given Ilani the opportunity to get close and manipulate him. If he had kept a clear distance from Ilani, how could they have ended up in this situation? Ani no longer appeared weak, kind, or pitiable. She was aggressive. "I'm telling you, you only have one path now. Be with me and avoid jail, or else you'll be waiting to go to prison." Faced with Ilani's threat, Liam had no other option. He didn't want to go to jail. He didn't want to ruin his promising future. But the thought of being with Ilani made him utterly disgusted. What should he do? Just as Liam was caught between a rock and a hard place, Uncle and Aunt came downstairs. They calmly looked at Ilani, who was bruised and swollen from Liam's beating. "We agree to you and Liam being together. You two will get engaged in a few days." The sudden turn of events left Ilani in disbelief. She had expected to spend a considerable amount of time threatening them. She hadn't expected Uncle and Aunt to be so straightforward. Uncle and Aunt had just heard their son and Ilani's conversation clearly from upstairs. Having been in the business world for so many years, they hardly needed to think to know their son had been manipulated. Ilani was a wolf in sheep's clothing. You can't rush when dealing with an ingrate. They had to find evidence of Ilani's manipulation of Liam. The family had money. Anything could be done if they were willing to spend. 3 days later, a video of Ilani purchasing illegal substances was sent to Uncle's phone. Ilani, still dreaming of marrying into wealth, was roughly pulled out of bed in her sleep. Uncle and Aunt threw the evidence in front of her, and Ilani was stunned. Her purchase of illegal substances would definitely result in criminal charges. Uncle and Aunt had only one demand, that Ilani hand over the video she had recorded to threaten Liam. Both parties would go their separate ways and have nothing more to do with each other. Ilani didn't want to go to jail. She couldn't contend with the Hayes family, so she reluctantly handed over the recording and reconciled with them. Her dream of marrying into wealth shattered, and all her schemes came to nothing. She, along with her mother and father, were all driven out of the Hayes home, and the Hayes family didn't give them a single cent in compensation. The story didn't end there, not after Ilani and her parents were kicked out. The day before she was to start college, a speeding car broke Ilani's leg. She was paralyzed from the waist down and could never stand up again. Ilani, regaining consciousness, was in unbearable pain. She didn't believe the accident was a coincidence. She had a gut feeling the car crash was deliberate, and the only people who hated her enough were the Hayes family. Ilani was also a ruthless person. She hadn't been idle while staying with the Hayes family. She had secretly entered Uncle's study and stolen trade secrets, originally planning to use them later to threaten the Hayes family for money and settle things. Now that she was like this, everyone might as well suffer together and go to hell. Ilani sold the Hayes family's trade secrets to their competitor, and the Hayes family's company suffered a severe blow. Half a year after I started university, a message popped up on my phone. "Isabella, please help my family. Please, convince Uncle and Aunt to help us." Only then did I learn about the Hayes family's situation. They had gone bankrupt. Before bankruptcy, the Hayes family was scrambling, but unfortunately, no one extended a helping hand to them as my family once had. Liam, at his wit's end, found my phone number and pleaded for my help. I ignored him. I helped Liam before because I liked him. How could I help him now? My family isn't a charity. especially when the beneficiary of this charity was the once arrogant young master of the Hayes family. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your perspectives, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.